Hey, good morning, everybody. Today is Tuesday, June 11th. So happy birthday, y'all. Today, I just am feeling, I don't know, great. Not just because I woke up, but because, I woke up and I have things I need to do. I have a mission. Life keeps going on, and it throws you a curveball. I got thrown a curveball, but guess what? I'm gonna roll with that curve. I'm gonna hit that arc, and I'm gonna make some stuff happen, because that's what I do. Anywho, last evening, and I guess this is like my 2 cents. I suppose that sun is just really in my eye, and now I got it. Oh, shoot. Got to do a turnaround. Anyway, okay. So I was talking to this young lady, and I call everybody young, so that is no indication to anybody's age, because to me, everybody is young. We're all young. We're all going to die young. But I was talking to this young lady, and she was telling me she feels like a bad mother because she has a grown daughter who lives at home with her, but her daughter she's hella disrespectful. She is impatient with her mother. She uses profanity towards her mother, against her mother, whatever. And she's like, I feel bad because I'm just tired of living with her. I have these thoughts that I'm way tired and I want to let this situation go. And I find myself saying mean things to my child. And she makes me say these things. I said, whoa, hold on right there. She's not making you do anything. You're doing those things and you're saying those things because you want to, because you could choose to walk away. So the choice is yours. She's given you a reason to be able to say those things that are in you to say and that you want to say. And so since she stimulates you in a way that allows you to release, you release. She's not making you do that. And a lot of people for a long time always say, oh, the devil made me do it. The devil ain't made you do nothing. You chose to do that thing. I have chosen to do some things in my life. And yes, also in my life, I have said, well, the devil made me do it. Sometimes. And I do get sidetracked. Be prepared for that. Once, there's this man in my life. I'm not going to say who he is because I don't want to be disrespectful, but there's this man in my life who I felt some type of way for a long time. And when I got up under that authority, he gave me the opportunity to release myself. I warned him. Before I let my tongue loose, there's always a warning. I preface what I do. You're about to wake Danielle up. Danielle is my alter ego. Sometimes I don't even like Danielle because I'm not going to lie, she's a bitch. And it's in there. I'm not a bitch, but I can be bitchy. But Danielle, she's a bitch. I'm like, okay, look, I'm at work. I don't have time for this. Can we discuss this at a later date? I can tell you right now, I'm not in agreement with you. So can we let that rest there and we can talk about this later? Oh, no. He pressed. Oh, he got it. He got it all. And then later I heard, well, you really hurt his feelings. No, he hurt his own feelings because I preface anything that I would say with a warning. Hey, it's on you. I let people do what they do. You're going to do what you do. I'm going to do what I do. For too long, and I was raised this way, and many of us raised this way, especially black women. Black women are really raised to take and endure a lot. And that's why that expression took flight and had some really widespread wings and flew very high, that black women are angry and black women are loud and black women are too dominating. Black women have been too oppressed. That's the two. That's what we've been too oppressed, too dominated, too held down. That it's made us build this strong ability to persevere, to hold on, to find joy in pain. We've been trained this way, and that's why we are this way. And a lot of times, even with that, we still put a muzzle over our mouth, and we take much stuff. But we get to a point where we've taken too much. When we've reached that point where we're taking too much, blah, we explode. It's all over. And once a black woman opens up her mouth to release on any given situation that she's been stimulated on, that she's been held down and pressed down on and hasn't spoken on and just gave you much grace, but you just kept on pushing and pushing and pushing, finally she's flowing. It's going to be a while before that flow is tempered. It's going to continue to flow, and you're going to get it all, and your little feelings are probably going to be hurt, but you brought that on yourself. So this is what I submitted to this woman. I'm like, your child is disrespectful. Your child's mouth is telling you, I have someplace else to go. Her mouth is saying, I got me. I don't need you to help me anymore. Why should you feel bad about someone telling you they desire to be out of your presence? Why are you going to allow yourself to be abused, to be beat up on? No, just because you gave birth to somebody doesn't mean they have the right to mistreat you. Doesn't mean they have the right to take over your household. No one can take over your household without your permission. So if you feel like you have lost all control in your own house, you let that happen. And only you can gain that control back. If it were me, she would have to be gone. And I would sleep fine. And I've lived through a situation like that. I've also, as a mother, I am a nurturer. As a lover, I'm a very deep lover. I love compassionately, overwhelmingly. My love will smother you. Okay, I'm a woman. I'm a nurturer. I'm a lover. I was a wife. I'm still a wife. You know, that gift comes without repentance. So that's a mindset. That's like having a skill set. I'm a wife. I'm a mother. I'm a friend. I'm an auntie. I'm a whole lot of stuff. And at the end of all of that, even I'm me. And above being myself, I'm a child of God. My God might not look like your God, but there's only one God. And that's all I can say about that. But I love me tremendously. And I'm only going to take so much. I had with my own child. I let her go. And I think that's the best thing you could do for your child, especially when they're out of control and unruly, is to let them go. Because you're teaching them something that's unrealistic. You're enabling them, number one. And then two, you're teaching them that they don't have to pay dues. They don't have to live like anybody else, because they will always have somebody else to fall back on. Is that reality? Do you have someone else to fall back on? 9 times out of 10, buck stops with you. With my daughter, she used to be extremely insultive about the kind of work I do or whatever. I'm like, okay, so I work diligently every day. I don't take sick days. I work ill. I secure the bag. You don't even want to keep a job, but you come to me and insult me about my job, yet here's your hand. Where do you think I get the resources to put anything in that open hand of yours? And if it's good enough for me, then it's good enough for you. But you don't get to not do it, hold your hand out to me, and disrespect me. You can move on. Now, if your ass hits the cement ground and it's cold, then it's cold. If it's summertime and you hit the cement ground and it's warm, then your ass is hot. The choice is yours. And I do not feel guilty. When you grow up, you let that stuff go. All that guilt it's a form of torment. Let it go. Love yourself, and a decision has to be made. A lot of women that I do know will say, well, what's that scripture, Danny, about, the God won't let you go through. I said, oh, God won't put no more on you than you can bear. He's not putting anything on you. You're putting that on you. You're saying you can bear it. Time and time again, you let that child come into your house and run wild. Don't blame God. That's on you. What are you going to do? And I had to come to that reality on my own as well. And it wasn't easy. It wasn't easy. When I was a child, and this is what black women are taught, the black women that I know anyway, because everything is not absolute. The black women that I know and how I was raised, you raise your kids. And when you have a child, it's on you. The struggles, whatever, it's on you. Black men will leave their families, and that black woman is there to hold it down. She has to continue to hold it down no matter what she's going through. She's the rock. She's the glue. She's everything. And that's how I was raised, and that's how I have lived. But when I was a little girl, I used to babysit some neighbors. They lived across the street. It was so weird. My mother, one day I'll tell you the story. Not today, though. But anyway, it came down to the fact that my mother moved us into an all-white neighborhood. Forget it, I'll tell you the story. When we were little, we lived in this area. It was called Park Hills, predominantly black. And my mother worked 2 jobs. She came home one day and she caught her daughters with the neighborhood kids throwing rocks at this white guy who was walking down the street, and we were yelling racist things at this kid. Get off our block, honky. And honky is so stupid. Anyway, I digress. So we're throwing rocks, and maybe he was 16, 17 years old. And he started running, and we were chasing him. And then my mother came around the corner because he had gotten off the city bus, and my mother was getting off that same bus. And the pastor's kids, because the pastor lived on the block too, his kids, his sons stopped and said, "Ooh, y'all in trouble. That's your mama." And me and my sister turned around. We were terrified. We knew we was going to get a whooping, okay? So we go in the house. We didn't get no whooping. And I was surprised. And then a few weeks later, my mom put our house up for sale. And our house was a Kool-Aid house. Everybody came to our house. We had fun at our front yard. My mother had gotten our front yard fenced in, and we had the patio, and, she put this artificial turf down, and everybody came to our house. We were that house. So she put our house up for sale, and she moved us to an all-white neighborhood. We were the only black family on the block. It was a shock for us. My thing, I do believe, because without a word, my mother taught us a lot. Without a word, she taught us that racism was wrong. And then she took us into an environment where you gonna learn to appreciate all life. And we did. And it was a very valuable lesson. And that's how I got to be how I am today. And I'm really grateful for that lesson. But anyway, I started babysitting some kids across the street. Their mother started having problems with their father, and she left. She didn't take the kids with her, and it blew my mind. Here I am, I'm 14 years old, and this is unheard of. Mama always takes the kids. The mother always raises her children no matter what, and they were Caucasian. She left, and she did not take her kids. After that culture shock, as I grew up and I started seeing this happen over and over, I'm like, why do we let society dictate to us what's good for us and what we should do? I think we need to start making our own decisions, because that woman made the decision that was right for her. I don't know what she was going through. I don't know. I had a good, bad person. I don't know. But she made a decision that was right for her. I struggled raising mine. And my baby's father, when I divorced him, he got away scot-free. He didn't have to grow up with those growing pains, or she's having problems in school. She's having growth spurts. She's doing all these things. Plus, I do like the fact that both my daughters are females, because I would have destroyed a male child. And I'm not saying there's anything wrong with being gay, but I am such a girly girl that if I raised a son as a single parent, yes, I think he would either be a huge womanizer or so gay he could catch the rainbow. I love purple. I got flowers everywhere. I like to have manicure parties. Don't look at my nails. Shh, be quiet. I'm going to take care of that later. But my boy would be gay. And my baby, my oldest, she's such a girly girl. She keeps her hair done, her brows primped, her nails done. She just loves name brand clothes. She's a girly girl. And I'm a girly mom. I've been forced to, fill in the gap and do that manly stuff, which I really don't know how to do. But we survived. The thing of it is, though, is sometimes we do need to allow the man to take that child. They're yours too. Why does it always have to be on us? Then the man leaves. He don't want to pay no child support. He don't want to help buy clothes. And he thinks paying child support is going to break him. But it's so much more than just paying child support when you have a child. That child support is such a minute amount of money that it is not really making the difference, because they need clothes. They have to go to the doctor. They have emotional issues a lot of times. It's a whole lot to raising a child. Stuff that you take for granted when you're in the home. They keep the lights on, you got the water bill is high, the grocery bill is high, just everything. Kids are very expensive. They losing books at school. You got to pay those school books. You got to pay for materials at school. You got to pay for field trips nowadays. School used to be for free, not anymore. Public schools like private school. You got to pay for everything. You got to pay dues. They're not in the same way you pay dues to a private school, but with all the stuff they come to parents with saying, we need this, we need that, we need that. And when they give you the school list, I was so upset when I finally learned what that school list was all about. I'm like, why does my child need all these supplies? Why does she need 2 boxes of Kleenex and all of these? Now she needs sanitary wipes and she needs hand sanitizer. Why? It's a supply to school, so they don't have to buy it. All of those extra crowns and extra markers and pens and stuff, it goes into a classroom pool, and they all draw from it. Yet they're all drawing for the school pool, but when my daughter needs more pencils, how come she's not drawing from that school pool? Why does she come home and say, I need more pencils? The expensive go on and on and on. And then they decide to go on field trips, which I love field trips. I think that it allows children to glean even more knowledge than they do in that school setting, and it's good for them to get out and learn different cultures and things of that nature. I wish that more public schools did things to promote learning outside of the country. What do they call those? When you go, I don't know. When you go somewhere and they take care of you, a family takes you into their home and all that. I don't know what that is, but I've always liked that. It's a scary adventure, but I think it's an adventure. And they still do it in, dare I say, the good white people schools. They do it, and I like it. I think it's wonderful. They have these trips. Oh, yeah, we're going to England. And, oh, yeah, we're going to Washington on a field trip. And my daughter, my youngest, got to participate in some of that because of the stuff that she did. I thought it was wonderful. But anyway, let me get back to the subject at hand, which is that sometimes the man needs to be allowed to take your child. Yeah, because child support is not enough. And then they want to cut child support off at 18 and say, well, I served my time. That's not time. That's not time. You got to spend time with kids. They do. And it takes a lot. And they wear on you mentally. But when you sacrifice all that you can and you've given all that you can and your child is in your house disrespecting you and they're grown, let them go. That's the best thing you can do for them. Let them go. Go on out there in the world and see how nice the world is not going to be to you. See how much rent is going to be for you, and you can't get by saying, oh no, I don't have it, so I'm not going to pay it, but I still have a roof over my head. Go on out there. Find out what it's like. It's the best thing you could do for a disobedient, unruly child. Let them go. And if they never come back to you, which they will, so you don't really have to worry about that. They're coming back. But let them learn their life lessons. It will help them be a better person. And stop being an enabler, and stop letting them break your back, and stop judging yourself so harshly, thinking that you're a cruel person. Nah, you're an enabler. Cut it out. Make a choice. Choose you. It's the best thing you could do for them. That's my advice. I'm Danny Daniels. You guys have a great day and be good to yourselves. It's important. And ladies, don't be afraid of mammograms. Why am I saying that? Because I got to go get one. Don't be afraid. People are always telling you all that pain hype. Oh, it's going to hurt and they're going to mush down on your breasts and da 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 da. Mammograms are done to save your life. It's a preventative measure. Go get your mammogram. Do not neglect it. Going out there and it doesn't hurt that bad. You know, they just put the machine down and it presses from the bottom and it presses from the top and your breast is in between it. It might hurt a little more if you have really small breasts, but it's still worth it. Go on in there. Get your exams. Stay healthy. Stay healthy in your body. Stay healthy in your mind. Prosper in life and in your spirit. That's what you need to do for yourself. If you're going to make a choice today, if today is your last day to have the ability to choose you. I'm Danny Daniels.